A lot of us who grew up in North America or in the Caribbean are a part of a larger black community called the African diaspora. And I'm only talking about those who have roots in Africa. People like myself, I represent the African American community. Some of you are, let's say, African, second generation, Nigerian American, or Nigerian Canadian, or Nigerian British. Some of you are also from Ghana, Barbados, Trinidad, the island of Dominica, and places like that. But a group of people who also have that particular ancestry that often get overlooked are the brothers and the sisters from the Afro Latina community. There are a lot of blacks that went to Colombia, some went to Argentina, but the majority of them that we see now either came from Brazil, and if you can see it in the Caribbean or Caribbean islands, we will look at places like the Dominican Republic. Now, the Dominican Republic and those people like in Puerto Rico, which is much different than, let's say, Haiti, right? Because Haiti is right next to the Dominican Republic. But a lot of the Dominicans are often criticized for not accepting their blackness. Like a good example would be a guy like Sammy Sosa, who was completely black, but he ended up, he obliterated his face by getting skin lightening, right? And so a lot of Dominicans or Puerto Ricans typically are criticized for being anti-black and refusing to accept the black part of their culture and just yet claiming to be Dominican or Puerto Rican. Now, there's an argument from this one particular TikToker. I'm not going to get to it right now, but there is Zoe Saldana, right? Or Saldana. Now, Zoe Saldana is a Dominican American actress who is quite popular, right? And she is doing her thing. From what I understand, she's like the second highest grossing actress worldwide, okay? But there's an issue with Zoe Saldana. Can I get a dun 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 sound effect? Zoe Saldana refuses to be identified or referred to as black or Afro-Latina. How do we know this? I want to talk about this lady here on Twitter, Bernadette R. Giacomazo. I know I'm messing up that name. She says this: for 5 years, sorry about this, take music! For 5 years, I was the editor of Latin Trends magazine. We featured Zoe on our covers. She never wanted to identify as black or Afro-Latina. Take a look at the pictures she would approve for the covers. Why is it a black publication's responsibility to carry her water? Now, what she's saying is, once she basically decided that she would be never identifying as black or Afro-Latina, and you clearly can look at her and see that she's definitely has, African ancestry. It is almost clear as day. So what's happening now is that she's doing very well, but African-American media refuse to cover her, like Ebony, Essence, those people, because you said, okay, well, you're not black, so let the Latinos take care of you. So now you have this person, Nydia Simone, who actually says this. So Zoe Saldana is the second highest grossing actress worldwide and the highest grossing black woman actor, period. And all of the African-American pubs are silent. This is why black Latinos have difficulties in the media. Accomplishments often go overlooked. Now, what I want to do is this. I want to play this TikTok video from this young lady, who, by the way, is very good looking, right? And she's going to talk about the fact that Dominicans or people do identify as being black, and I'm going to come back and we'll assess it.
Okay, so I briefly want to touch on this because I'm tired of this joke about Dominicans, and you guys know exactly which one I'm talking about, because apparently you guys love to touch on this even after 3 years, But I'm not here to fight y'all. I'm actually here to give you guys the knowledge that y'all need so that ignorance could stop. So just because Dominicans are very proud from where they come from doesn't mean they're anti-black. We're black. We know it. Promise you. Have you been to our country? Most of y'all haven't. Y'all really need to go out there too, so you guys could really peep how everything is. Race is an American thing. Dominicans don't know what race is, okay? America has always divided everybody into groups. Dominicans don't know how to do that. We see each other as one. A lot of the misunderstanding comes from the lack of education in the country. And y'all really can't blame them for that. Like, they don't know how to identify themselves because the average Dominican kid drops out at 9 years old to go work. do your research about our culture, because Dominican culture, 90% of it comes from Africa, and we know it. We're still celebrating it and embracing our ancestors and what they taught us. We're representing them. It's in us. And I'm about to show you guys how real quick. Literally all from Africa. And I'm not sitting here denying that there's no colorism in the country, because there is. But that comes from European people and a whack-ass dictator that we used to have. And even though the Europeans tried really hard to make Afro-Dominicans forget their customs, force them to learn Spanish, which is not our fault, convert them to Catholicism, a lot of what our other ancestors taught us will never be forgotten. It's in us. You know what I'm saying? So next time y'all know that Dominicans don't mean that in any disrespectful way. We're not denying anything at all. It's just in our country, we just see each other as that, Dominican. No matter what you come from, your skin tone, none of that. You feel me? And remember, we're talking about people that live in a third world country. Most of y'all don't really know what that is.
So let me say this. And I'm seeing situations like, let me play this controversial clip, right, from John Leguizamo, a comedian. This guy is gonna say that Latino community built the world. They built this country. This is a guy that John Leguizamo, rather. He's been in all kind of black films and things like that. I want you guys to hear this clip, and then I'm gonna come back.
Latin people, we're the largest ethnic group in America, the oldest ethnic group. We built this country. We suffered in this country. We were oppressed, and we're thriving. We add $2.8 trillion to the GDP every year. If we were our own country, we'd be the 5th largest economy in the world, bigger than England, bigger than Italy, bigger than Brazil. And that's just in America. So I found Latin excellence all over America, in Chicago, in DC, in Miami, in Puerto Rico, in LA, in New York. And we ate, we danced, and we celebrate it, because nobody knows how to enjoy life as good as Latinos.
Now, what's the reason why I play that? Because John Leguizamo, hey, Latinos are getting bold with it, right? We've heard Jennifer Lopez change her stance. So she was black, now she's Latino, and she wants, these people to support like they're giving African Americans. Goldman Sachs, they want them to give money to these Latina businesses now. John Leguizamo is coming out saying, hey, we built this country. So now what this lady is saying is, well, all right, you're not identifying as black or Afro-Latina, but you expect that the African-American publications should come to your defense. And I'm not trying to make this a Dominican war and all that or whatever, because, obviously we do have Dominican blacks that are, very cool and things like that. But I mean, you're saying that you don't want to be identifying as black or Afro-Latina, yet you expect the African-American publications to boost you up, when John Leguizamo just said that you guys built this country. So clearly the Afro-Latinas who are in the Latin community are not getting the shine that they deserve. So then whose issue is that? It would mean that the Afro-Latinas and the Afro-Dominicans and those people who feel like they're not getting their shine on, hey, if that's what it is, they got to put that stuff up for their individual, brothers and sisters, and let them get on, especially if this person or people like that who y'all feel are not Afro-Latina, which is really a shot to all Afro-Latinas also are black. It's not even their job, to be honest, to build her up. The husband that she has is Italian, which is interesting because the husband took her last name, right? That just goes to show how beta male he was. But again, you don't want to identify as black. Let them take care of you. It's not anybody black, even the Afro-Latinas who embrace their blackness. And she says, I'm not a part of you. I don't identify as that. It's a slap in the face, and blacks need to continue with this energy. If you don't want to be a part of our group, and we know that you're a part of our group, then we're not going to support you. Let's support our people who want to be here. And for me, I'm open. If it's the African Americans, if anybody wants to add value to our group and they want to be down, because everybody else is uniting. Colombians uniting, Dominicans uniting, Mexicans are uniting. Not to the degree where they're all just hanging out every day, but they're celebrating their Latino experience. And they have a big spending power of $2.8 billion, which is almost double than ours. And as blacks, we don't have time to sit here and cape for people who not a part of us or who don't want to be identified as that. So I think that the African-American pubs need to continue to be silent on her. Let the white media outlets take care of her. Let Latin trends take care of her. Let the Italian magazines take care of her. We need to be only supporting the people who supporting us. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.